Good morning. Oh, come on. Good morning. Hi, I'm Sue Farnlucker. My pronouns are he, no, she, hers, they. Just don't call me late for dinner, right? I'm happy to serve this congregation as a member of your Board of Trustees. Welcome to First UU. Whether you're joining us online, in person, and whether you are a new face, a familiar one, we are glad that you're here. If this is your first visit, please stop by the welcome table out in the gallery for your first-time visitor gift. Everyone, please let us know who you are. Everyone, please let us know you are here today by scanning the QR code on your order of service or on the screen. Here you can check in and find your order of worship, the Joys and Sorrows form, and our donation page. Today, after the service, is Packets and Posters Day. Please join us during coffee hour to assemble voter registration packets and make registration to vote posters in Beach Hall. That's our fellowship hall. And finally, now is the time to submit your joys and sorrows. You can use the QR code that's available on the screen throughout the service or paper forms on the candle table. Anything we receive by the end of the Time for All Ages will be shared later during the caring meditation. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Kathleen Fowler, and my pronouns are she and her, and I am so honored to serve as your Minister of Pastoral Care. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbus. We begin this service by acknowledging that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Adena, Hopewell, Wyandotte, Miami, Seneca, Erie, and Cayuga people. We cultivate this awareness that our symbolic acknowledgments be accompanied by concrete acts of solidarity, healing, and reparation. We now invite any children who want to help bring in the light to meet Nikki out in the gallery. And everyone else, please rise in body or spirit to sing All God's Creatures. The words will appear on the screen, and you can find the half sheet in your order of service if you would like to read the music.
Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks. ox and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do, and an old cow just goes moo. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the crickets fiddle. Donkey brays and the pony neighs, the old coyote howls. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little bird sings on the melody with the high notes ringing. Hoot owl hollers over everything. The jaybird disagrees. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day, the little duck quacks and he's on his way. Possum ain't got much to say, the porcupine talks to himself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. It's a simple song, a living song everywhere, with the fox and the ox and the grizzly bear and the grumpy alligator and the ox above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Woo!
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Dr. Teresa Cooley. I serve as your developmental minister, and my pronouns are she and her. And it's now time for our children to bring in the light. Lighting. Let us be a light for those who speak not with words, but with meows and barks, growls and howls, silently or with song. The four-leggeds, the winged ones, the scaly and the crawling ones. Let us be in conversation with all who live within the interdependent web. Let us bless them. Let us be their voice. Let us be their light.
Thank you, June, for your help lighting our chalice. Good morning. I am Amber Scott, your Director of Religious Exploration, and my pronouns are she, they. It's time to register your children and youth for fall activities. We also need just a few more adult volunteers for our older elementary and teen classes. Please email me for more info. Today's story is called Socrates, written by Rascal and illustrated by Gert Bogarts. Socrates was an orphan. His parents had been snatched up by the dog catcher and taken to the pound, leaving Socrates to live alone on the street. He dreamed of a home other than his cardboard box, and more than anything else, Socrates dreamed of having a friend. He looked to the other street dogs for company, but they just snarled and growled. They wouldn't share their scraps, and Socrates was left to rummage through garbage cans on his own. It seemed to Socrates that he was always alone. Every night, he wandered the streets, wagging his tail at passerby, hoping that one of them would take him home. But the people just looked the other way. Poor thing, some of them would mutter, but they always kept their eyes on the ground. Then, one day, as Socrates was scouring the street for something to eat, he found the most curious thing. Sniff, 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 Socrates examined this new thing. Sniff, sniff, wasn't something to eat. Sniff, sniff, Socrates discovered the thing fit his nose perfectly. Perhaps this will help, he thought, and went on his way. Socrates stepped inside the flower shop. For the first time, no one chased him away. The florist took a look at him and laughed a friendly laugh. Then he gave Socrates a quick pat on the head. Socrates thought the flowers looked brighter than they ever had before. Next, Socrates went to the toy shop. The shop owner smiled and said, "Here you go, boy," and handed Socrates a bit of his sandwich. The toys seemed to be smiling too. Socrates could hardly believe his eyes. All day, Socrates roamed the streets. Everywhere he went, there were smiles, pats on the head, and treats. Extraordinary, thought Socrates as he looked at his reflection. This thing on my nose must be magical. As the day ended, Socrates heard music, and when he turned the corner, he found the music maker. The musician looked at Socrates. "Hey there, friend," he said, giving Socrates a pat. Then the musician squinted at Socrates and said, "I see you found my glasses. And a good thing, too. I can't see a thing without them. If you hadn't come along, I'd never have been able to find my way home." The musician laughed, and he stretched his hand out towards Socrates. Socrates pulled back. What, he thought, give back this magical thing, this thing that helped him find food, this thing that had made him so many friends? Then Socrates looked at the musician. He imagined him wandering blindly through the streets looking for his home, and he imagined him hungry. Slowly, Socrates stepped forward. The musician took the glasses. Then he gave Socrates a strong pat. "Thanks, fella," he whispered. "A good friend like you deserves a special treat. Let's go home and cook up some dinner." And then Socrates knew that he had, indeed, found something magical after all, a friend. The end. May we all cultivate the kindness and vulnerability shown in this story as we thank and bless our own animal best friends today. I now invite the congregation to form a sheltering arc of love as we sing our young people back to their families.
You warm our hearts as you pass through. May our love guide you as you go, to help you learn and help you grow.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Kelly McNeil. My pronouns are she, her, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as your minister of congregational life. Our reading this morning is Grateful for Creatures from A to Z, from Gary Kowalski. We give thanks for the earth and its creatures and are grateful from A to Z. For alligators, apricots, acorns, and apple trees, for bumblebees, bananas, blueberries, and beagles, coconuts, crawdads, cornfields, and coffee, daisies, elephants, and flying fish, for groundhog, glaciers, and grasslands, hippos and hazelnuts, icicles and iguanas, for juniper, jackrabbits, and June bugs, kudzu and kangaroos, lightning bugs and licorice, for mountains and milkweed and mistletoe, narwhals and nasturtiums, otters and ocelots, for peonies and persimmons and polar bears, quahogs and Queen Anne's lace, for raspberries and roses, salmon and sassafras, turtles and tulip wood, urchins and valleys and waterfalls, yaks and yams and yogurt. We are grateful, good earth, not least of all for zucchini and zebra, and for the alphabet of wonderful things that are simple as A, B, C.
So I understand that this is a beloved tradition among you at First Unitarian Universalist Church to have an animal blessing service. How many of you been to this service before? How many of you are brand new and have no idea what's going on? Yes, you're welcome as well. Even if you did not bring a pet with you this morning, you can participate in this tradition. The half sheet in your order of service is a great place to draw a special pet or animal that is meaningful to you. Our relationship with pets is a pretty uncomplicated one. Even with pets that might be sometimes difficult to manage, like my dogs that got lost on the trail this morning for about 10 minutes. Not that I was panicking. But no matter, we feel a connection that doesn't need to be processed or taken to therapy. It's simply a feeling that can go very deep. Many of us have that one special pet that stays in our hearts forever, even when they are gone. For me, that special pet is in this picture, this black Great Dane named Circe. She came into my life at a time when I needed some special care. She died almost 20 years ago, but I still feel her presence. The dogs I have now are wonderful, but as I said, a bit too rambunctious to be in this service. I cannot imagine my life without these current and past pure loves. This is why we perform this ritual, to honor the many feelings that we carry for these beloved presences, both past and present in our lives.
It's a pleasure to see so many dogs here in person today. Unsurprisingly, it seems like most of you, like myself, chose not to bring your cat to church. We begin our animal blessing by lifting up those animals who remain alive in our hearts. We would now like to invite any children who would like to come forward and take a flower and place it on our altar as we reflect together. If you have photos of pets, past and present, that you would like to add to our altar, now is also a good time to bring those forward.
Surrounded by reminders of the animals we love, we remember with gratitude the pets and the protectors and animal companions who have blessed our lives.
We give thanks for our childhood pets who taught us to love and to cry. We give thanks for our children's pets who help us to teach them responsibility and relationship. And we give thanks for the pets who brighten our days and comfort our nights.
Surrounded by reminders of beloved pets, we remember that many animals also suffer.
We remember that some animals are hunted or deserted or tortured or hungry. We remember that nature can be cruel and sometimes people can be mean. We remember and we want to help.
Surrounded by reminders of the animals we love, we know that many animals contribute to our lives.
We give thanks for all those animals who help us, worker animals who guard us and find our lost and guide the blind, the animals who provide us food and clothing, who tote our burdens and entertain us with their antics, and for animals who give their lives to help us learn.
Spirit of life, help us to remember that we live and work and love among the animals. Help us to be their friends, to love them and care for them and protect them from harm, to thank them when we use their lives for ours. Especially this morning, Spirit of life, bless these animals who are the companions of our lives. Hear our outpouring of love and gratitude for them, and help us translate that into love and gratitude for all your creatures.
Please read with us. We bless these animals we love.
We pledge to care for them tenderly and faithfully, and to remember that we are not alone on the earth. We now invite those who brought their pets in person to come forward down one of our aisles with your pet, or if you want to grab a photo and have that be blessed as well. For all of you online, I offer this blessing. Bless our beloved pets and animal friends. May they and those who care for them be held lovingly by the Spirit of life. And Nathan, you can play for us. This final Sunday of August, very appropriately, our Share the Plate recipient is Sedona Grace. Sedona Grace keeps pets with their families by providing pet food to local food pantries. So everyone in the family, including their four-legged friends, can have food on the table and in their bowls. You can also contribute by bringing cat or dog food to the Justice Action Ministry table on Sunday mornings in August. Please use the QR code on the order of service or text the number on the screen, or go to our website, firstuucolumbus.org, and click the Donate tab to share as you feel called. Your gifts help us build a better church and a better world. May our offering now be received.
For your consideration this morning, I offer a work from the collection Dog Songs by Mary Oliver. This beloved poet certainly cherished all of nature's creatures, yet she experienced an especially deep bond with her many dogs. In writing of this relationship, she sings, "Because of the dog's joyfulness, our own is increased. This is no small gift. It is not the least reason why we should honor as well as love the dogs and cats of our own life, and the dogs and animals down the street, and all of the dogs and cats and animals not born. What will the world be like without music or rivers or the green and tender grass? What would this world be like without dogs and cats?" So I give you this morning every dog story. I have a bed, my very own. It's just my size. And sometimes I like to sleep alone with dreams inside my eyes. But sometimes dreams are dark and wild and creepy, and I wake and I'm afraid, although I don't know why. But I'm no longer sleepy, and too slowly the hours pass. So I climb on the bed where the light of the moon is shining on your face, and I know it will be morning soon. Everybody needs a safe place. This morning we hold up the 21-year-old woman, Takaya, mother of 2 and pregnant, who was killed at a grocery store. May all beings be safe and protected, free from inner in Washington for jobs and freedom, where he delivered his exalted "I Have a Dream" speech. It was attended by more than 250,000 people, demonstrating their outrage over the nation's racial inequalities. May all beings proudly carry within them that dream of freedom, and may we all work for that dream for all of humankind. And in honor of our animal blessing service today, I hold up the life of Bob Barker, host of the longest daytime running TV show. He was also a longtime animal rights activist, ending each episode of The Price is Right with the plea, help control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered. And as well, in 2013, he donated $1 million to help movenize and respect the innate value of sentient beings. And now I invite Pat Snyder, our pastoral listener this morning, to come forward. In a moment, she will read the joys and sorrows that you have submitted since the start of this service. These are the caring cards that you have submitted in the past week. We have 5 caring cards to announce this morning and 1 announcement. Karen N's nephew and Janet K's son, Kenneth S., died of renal cell carcinoma after a 2-year challenge in Knoxville, Tennessee. Kenneth leaves a wife and 2 young children, sadly. And for further information, you can visit the caring card table. Erica S. had a procedure this week in relation to a bladder cancer diagnosis. Things went moderately well for her, and she's recuperating at home. Tony M. had a discectomy on his lower back to decompress his spine and free impinged nerves. He is home and doing well, but will be off work for several weeks while he fully recovers. Please keep his family in mind as they navigate the unexpected loss of income, and send him all of your thoughts of healing. And Reverend Kelly will celebrate both the anniversary of her ordination into Unitarian Universalist ministry today and her birthday on Tuesday, August 29th. And another birthday, David Kay celebrated his 80th birthday on Friday, August 25th. And our announcement today is to let you know that decorating the chancel today are native wildflowers that were picked from our church garden. So we encourage you to visit the caring card table in Beach Hall after the service to sign these caring cards, whether or not you know the people. This long-time tradition of signing cards in person is an important outreach to members and friends. Even if there are no cards to sign, you can stop and say hello to the volunteers. And now, Pat.
Morning. Stephanie and Zach share a joy. They want to share that when Rain Cloud had her oncology vet visit this past week, her cancer had shrunk and a tumor had disappeared. Thanks to everyone for all the good thoughts. Also, from Jim P. and Danya F., they're excited to be getting 34 solar panels installed tomorrow. They say, it feels good to be part of the solution, even in this small way. Also, from Brian H., rest in peace to Bob Barker, who Kathleen had already mentioned, since he passed over the Rainbow Bridge yesterday at the age of 99. And finally, from Adam, 2 weeks ago, his roommate and he lost their puppy Ajax, a 14-year-old Cocker Spaniel. It's been pretty hard on them, so we send our sympathies. Thank you.
As we hold these joys and sorrows and all of those yet unspoken gently in our hearts. And as I sound this temple bell, I invite you into a moment of shared silence to reflect, imagine, to pray, or simply to breathe.
Amen. As we extinguish our chalice, I invite you to rise as willing or able and join hands, or place your hands over your heart if that feels more comfortable, as we speak our vision statement. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of vision. As we go forth, let us heal and transform ourselves and our world through reason and love. And our final hymn is number 83, Winds Be Still.
Winds be still, storm clouds pass and silence come. Peace grace this time with harmony. Fly, bird of hope, and shine, light of love, and in calm let all find tranquility. Bird fly high, lift our gaze toward distant view. Help us to sense life's mystery. Fly high and far and lead us each to see how we move through the wings of eternity. Light shining, illuminate our inward view. Help us to see with clarity. Fly high and far, so we may join our songs in new sounds that become